It's February 29th, and coming up on DigiTalk, we have the space station that was sponsored by LEGO, and a game raffle was shut down. Find out what I mean by that, and later in the show, Jay has Windows 8 install example in smart computing. And we also have Jay's Game of the Month and my App of the Month. So stick around, this is DigiTalk. All right, everyone. Welcome to DigiTalk. I'm Sarah. I'm glad you're joining us. Jay can't be here tonight, so I'm here to bring you the news. We have a great show for you tonight, as always. We have Jay's Smart Computing segment, My App of the Month, and Jay's Game of the Month tonight. This show is packed with fun stuff for you tonight. But before we can get into all of that, I want to let you know how you can get in contact with us if you have any questions or comments. And contact us if you like we want to hear from you. So there are a couple of ways to contact us. You can follow us at Twitter at twitter.com/digitalkshow, or email us at digitalkshow@hotmail.com. And of course, you can call us live here tonight at 978-777-2720. So I'm sure you're wondering what's happened in the tech world in the last 2 weeks. As always, we have our news pieces up first with 5 topics to run through this week. So let's get right into it. It's time for the news. Let's start tonight with LEGO news in space. A Japanese astronaut took the trip to the International Space Station. This project, sponsored by LEGO, is meant to help school children learn about outer space and the effects it can have. He said that, quote, ISS was put together in space piece by piece. It's very similar to how you put together Lego bricks on Earth, end quote. You can see footage of his feat by going onto YouTube and searching astronaut builds LEGO space station on real ISS. There is a new trend in Facebook, defriending. Yes, people have generally stopped adding people and started removing people from their friends list. With online privacy becoming a concern to more and more people, it seems that people are now less willing to share everything with everyone. Reports are showing that most people have set their profiles to friends only, and that people are not responding with yes to everyone that sends them a friend request. They are also paying more attention to what they are tagged in and are removing themselves from pictures that they don't want to be in. A reporter from CNET recently speculated whether all of this defriending might somehow be associated with employers' increased enthusiasm to scour Facebook for clues to the true nature of their employees. Facebook will be putting more advertisements on your news feed. Normally, as you know, it works something like this. You like something, it appears on your news feed. If you unlike it, then it will stop appearing. But now what Facebook wants to do is have things your friends like appear on your news feed as well. While this may help advertisers, it may annoy more and more users of Facebook and pull them away to such things as Google+, since that's been catching on. Seems like a good reason to defriend. CNET has a review of the Elgato HD Home Run up on its website. The Elgato is a TV tuner designed to take your TV and record on your Mac, PC, or any other device. You can also record a show and watch another in real time. CNET states that, quote, the Elgato is a decent way to get over-the-air TV on your computer, but its high bandwidth requirements mean you're better off opting for wired rather than Wi-Fi streaming, end quote. The 2 men who won an early copy of Mass Effect 3 may have broken both state and federal laws. EA's new game was hosting an interesting promotion. They airdropped copies of the game into the United States, and the people who found them got to keep them. However, the two gamers that found the games decided to raffle them off. For $5, people could buy a ticket to win a game. It was said that 30% of the profits would go to a charity, and the other 70% would go to future endeavors. However, because of anti-gambling laws, the raffle had to be shut down. Now, coming up after the break, Jay has his smart computing special this week. We also have both my app and Jay's game segments tonight, so you don't want to miss it. This is DigiTalk.
It's been called a silent epidemic. It's time we call it out for exactly what it is. A very serious disease that has to be stopped. This is Brett Michaels. Join us. Choose to share, act, learn, and give. Help us stop diabetes.
You say you'd give your right arm to be there for your family? Here's your chance to prove it. Have your blood pressure checked and control it to lower your risk of heart attack and stroke.
Alcohol is the leading contributor to injury and death for people under 21.
You think it's okay?
You think it's okay?
You think it's okay to buy alcohol?
To buy alcohol? As long as you take my car keys?
As long as you take my car keys?
Taking the keys?
Taking the keys won't stop me.
Won't stop me.
From hooking up?
Drinking until I pass out?
Or getting my face kicked in?
If you want to help keep me safe,
Stop kidding yourself.
And stop providing.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world dedicated to teaching peace and understanding to a new generation. There is a new symbol for peace, Rotary. Make a difference in District 7930 Rotary Clubs in northeastern Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire. Contact us at www.rotarydreams.org. Rotary, building communities, bridging continents, and making a difference with 100 years of service in Massachusetts.
It is a counterfeiter because it can print money at its own discretion.
They set the system up so that debtors are rewarded and savers are punished.
We owe tons of interest to the Federal Reserve. It's so important to understand that we need to use gold and silver.
Debt and leverage is okay, but it's when you get excessive, like the path we're on now, there's no return. I think we've passed the point and they know it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to DigiTalk. I'm Sarah. It's great to have you join us. Jay isn't here tonight, but he'll be back for sure in 2 weeks. I want to let you know that you can find our latest shows on DCAT servers at danverstv.org. You'll find these shows and all of DCAT's recent shows by clicking the on-demand menu button at the top of the page. Jay's prepared a little something for us in this installment of Smart Computing. He talks about Windows 8 and how to install it to a virtual machine, since it was released as a beta version today. So, without further ado, here's Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay, and welcome to another Smart Computing segment here on DigiTalk. A couple of weeks back, I gave an early preview of Windows 8. Starting tomorrow, the general public can try out Microsoft's latest operating system with the release of its consumer preview version. I originally recommended, since this is beta software, to install this to a PC that you don't use on a regular basis and not use this for any kind of serious work. However, through the use of an emulator, you can install the software on your PC and not worry about doing any damage to your host OS. The first thing that you need to do is download the Windows 8 Consumer Preview, which is available today and can be downloaded from the Windows Developers site. Next, you want to grab a copy of a program called VirtualBox, which is software that allows you to run different operating systems in its own virtual environment right on your PC. Since it is software, I recommend using a fast computer with at least a multi-core processor and 4 gigs of RAM. Lesser configurations might work, however, performance will take a hit. Next is to download the VirtualBox software and follow these steps. First, you want to open VirtualBox, create a new virtual machine, choose Windows or Windows 8 as the type. If that's not an option, then you need to update VirtualBox. Be certain to pick the version 32 bits or 64 bits that matches your download. Second, during the initial installation process, choose to create a virtual disk. You'll need at least 20 gigabytes for the virtual disk type. Use VDI, and that's VirtualBox Disk Image. For the visual disk storage details, use a dynamically allocated disk rather than a fixed size virtual disk. That way, if you need more room as you go, the disk will expand as needed. Next, after the virtual disk is created, go to the Settings panel, where you can adjust some initial settings. In the System section, Motherboard Setting, enable I/O API-C. Next, set the VM's memory to 2 GB for a 32-byte Windows 8 instance and at least 4 GB for the 64-byte version. Remember that you also need to leave enough memory for the operating system, so if you have 4 gigs installed, choose 2. Now, change the chipset to ICH9. In the System Processor section, enable PAE/NX. If you have a very fast machine with multiple cores, such as an i7 processor, feel free to choose more than one core. Finally, go to the System, Acceleration, and enable VTX, AMTV, and nested paging. Now, move to the left menu bar and go down to Display. You'll see a video section and enable both 3D and 2D acceleration and change the memory to 256 megabytes. Over to the left and under Storage, go to the virtual hard drive under the SATA controller and click Host I/O Cache. While there, your Windows 8 Preview ISO file should have been mounted already. Now start the virtual machine and follow the standard Windows installation instructions. From here on in, it should be just like installing Windows 8 on a real machine. Hopefully you have a new Windows 8 installation running, have some fun, explore all the new features, and look for a full review after the initial release.
Well, thank you, Jay. That was quite informative. I think we learned a lot from that little clip. I know that I'm going to go home and try to install that and see all the new options that are available to us. That was very nice. Thank you so much. Now we move on to my app of the month, which is Addicting Games. Now, I'm sure we have all gone to addictinggames.com and played for hours on end. It is, as it says, a very addicting games. Now, this app actually downloads to your phone. It takes a lot of memory in your phone, and you need a Wi-Fi connection in order to put it into your smartphone, but it actually will update every so often, and you can download new games from the Addicting Games website onto your phone. Now, there are many, many different games, and I haven't seen one yet that wasn't in its full version, and you just can play them for hours and hours and hours. It's fantastic. I mean, I don't think I've stopped playing it since I put it on my phone, and you can't get bored with it because there are just so many different types of games that, they've got catapults, they have Jewel Lanch, they have absolutely everything. So, because of the fantastic games that are incorporated in this one application, my ranking for this application is a 10. I know I don't give out 10s too often, but this was a fantastic app. I really suggest you download it. It's a lot of fun, but don't play it in class. That'll get you in trouble. All right, well, we still have more to come after the break. We have Jay's Game of the Month, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Find out what he gives this game a 9. Stay tuned, you're watching DigiTalk.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
People with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke than people without diabetes. And many who survive are severely disabled.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
Can you tell?
Can you tell?
Does it look like I'm fighting a disease?
Fighting.
Fighting
for my life?
Like my life expectancy is shorter than yours?
There's no outward sign.
But we're battling every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Worrying, testing,
treating,
fighting. Diabetes.
Diabetes has been called a silent epidemic. It's time to call it out for what it is. This is Brett Michaels. Join us. Choose to share, act, learn, and give. Help us stop diabetes.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
When I was president, diabetes affected nearly 10 million Americans. Today, more than 21 million children and adults are affected by diabetes, and another 54 million people are at risk of developing this disease. Type 2 diabetes can be prevented, and I want to encourage you to get involved and help stop this epidemic. Call the American Diabetes Association to get a special Jimmy Carter Diabetes Care Package.
Welcome back to DigiTalk. I'm Sarah. Jay couldn't make it tonight, but I've been here bringing you the news. I hope you've been enjoying the show, but it's not over yet. We still have Jay's game, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Before we get into that, I want to let you know that you can help out on the show by becoming a member of DCAT and taking a couple of production classes if you live here in Danvers. DigiTalk is looking for camera operators, lighting technicians, and engineers. Just come into DCAT and let us know, or you can email us at digitalkshow@hotmail.com. This is a great opportunity for those that wish to get into news business, or for those who just want a taste of what it would be like to be part of a fast-paced show. Come join our crew and be part of the fun. So here's Jay's review of Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Thanks, Sarah. Welcome to another Game of the Month here on DigiTalk. This week we will be looking at the recently released Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. The Old Republic, or TOR as it is commonly called, was developed by BioWare, famous for games like Mass Effect and the Dragon Age series. BioWare has also developed two previous Old Republic games, and while those were role-playing games focused on the single-player experience, The Old Republic is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game that takes place 300 years after the events of BioWare's previous Old Republic games, and more than 3,500 years before the events in the George Lucas films. The game is believed to cost around $150 to $200 million, making it the most expensive game ever developed. The game was released in late 2011 and is available on the Windows platform. At a glance, The Old Republic is very similar to games like Warcraft, except TOR is set in the Star Wars universe. The plot takes place shortly after a peace treaty between the Sith Empire and Galactic Republic. As the game begins, a new conflict between the two groups is arising. Players can join as a member of either the Galactic Republic or the Sith Empire. Player advancement is achieved by a combination of mission completion, exploration, and defeating enemies. New skills, unlocked by level, are taught by trainers and can be learned in-game at a multitude of locations. Heroic missions exist that require the cooperation of multiple players to complete objectives and can be repeated normally on a daily basis. While each class in the Old Republic favors a certain style of play, customization combined with companion characters allow for a class to be able to tackle many different situations with or without the support of other players, and without requiring specific other classes in order to move forward. A range of playable species are available for the player to choose from, including a human, a Chiss, Cyborg, Miraluka, Miralin, Ratataki, Sith Pureblood, Twi'lek, or Zabrak. Players choosing humans or Zabrak can pick any class available. The other species are restricted to limited choice of classes. Each class has their own starship, which serves as the player's base of operations. All of these ships can all be upgraded, allowing them to perform better in combat. The Old Republic does require a monthly subscription to play, following a month of play included with the initial purchase. Options are available to pay for 1 month, 3 months, or 6-month blocks, with discounted rates for multiple month blocks. I have spent about 2 months with the game and find it quite engaging and a lot of fun. Although there are many opportunities to join up with other players, I found most of the time I just enjoyed playing it alone. The press has been very favorable toward the game, the graphics are good, and are reminiscent of the Clone Wars cartoon seen on Cartoon Network. If you are into the whole MMORPG experience and are a little worn out on the World of Warcraft, I suggest giving it a try. On a scale of 1 to 10, I gave the game a 9. The sounds and sights are pure Star Wars, and the combat and RPG elements are top-notch. The only downside is having to pay for the initial game plus the monthly subscription. Thanks for watching this month's game review, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Jay. Now that seems like a very interesting game that I would probably never play. You know, I really am not into the idea personally of being online games where you have to pay money to play the game. I mean, if I spend $70-ish on a game, I feel like that should be enough. But there are people that really enjoy it, so if you enjoy it and it's your thing, it sounds good. But I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Now, I hope you guys had fun. I sure did. I hope you all learned a lot too. So once again, there are a couple of ways to contact us. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/digitalkshow or email us at digitalkshow@hotmail.com. Now, stay tuned to DCAT for the Peel coming up at 7:30. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you again in 2 weeks.